Hello everyone, Chris Walker here, and welcome to a brand new series on this channel. This time, I'm doing something different, is doing some top 10s. Now, I want to do some top 10s to different things, and I'm going to start up with top 10 gaming video game characters. And this is going to be my top 10 favorite male characters in gaming, basically, in general. And this is just my personal opinions on the characters and how I feel about them. Some characters left an impression on me that I'll never forget. Some characters, some characters I found out recently and been falling in love with ever since. So, we're induction out of the way. Let's get started. Starting with number 10. Number 10 goes to Frank Castle from the Punisher series. So, Frank Castle is definitely one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Comics or the Marvel Universe. Frank Castle is a vigilante that takes out all the criminal underworld for because the gang killed his wife. They killed his own family in a mob hit. But he's out there now in revenge and roam the streets of New York to battle all the vigilante and slaughter every single thugs and gangs. And goes on to fight Jigsaw and defeat him. Basically, him defeating him and killing him. He's a pretty cool character in my opinion. Even in the video game, the last game that he appeared, which is the Punisher for the PS2, is pretty damn cool character. I like him, his dark and brooding like the dark and brooding characteristics of him, and how he's one of the darkest characters of all time. Number 9. Number 9 goes to Wei Shen from Sleeping Dogs. Now, Wei Shen is a pretty interesting character and kind of a bit of a realistic character. Wei Shen is an undercover cop slash member of the Sunderland who came from the States to Hong Kong to find out to investigate the triads in Hong Kong, and as well plot a bit of a revenge for his sister's death in her heroin, pretty much her overdose of heroin for death. So, so basically, Wei Shen is right now is pretty much trying to play both sides as an undercover cop and as a member of the Sunny and staying loyal, which is sometimes fun between the fiddle and sometimes caught between two places and doesn't know what to do. It keeps a low profile, and I really like Wei Shen's character and how he's literally shows his loyalty to Sun Yi because the people in Sun Yi are actually people whom he knows when they were kids. And he got a lot of skills, and he can jump cars, and he's a pretty cool character all around in my opinion. He's pretty cool. Number 8. Number 8 goes to Niko Bellic from the GTA series. Now, not a lot of people say, Chris, why you put Niko Bellic on the lower list, you should put him on the higher list. Because there's actually more characters that are more inspiring than him. And I think that Niko Bellic is more of a realistic character, and he's pretty much a character that left like his first impression was really fucking great, and I freaking loved his characteristics and mannerisms. So a bit of background: Niko Bellic, he went to the U.S. After the war that happened 10 years ago to find out the people who slaughtered in the village when he was in the army. So he goes now in Liberty City because some of the people who actually who murdered these people are actually here and set them up. They're actually in Liberty City, so he goes there to find out and end his revenge. Well, yet pretty much get used to the city and meet a lot of people. And definitely as well, he swam to shore and saved himself. And he got definitely in touch with Dimitri until Dimitri betrayed him and basically Dimitri being a dick to Nico and all that stuff, and depending on like the ending in the game, and because GTA 4 is a pretty damn cool game, but you should play it. Anyways, so anywho, I digress. Niko Bellic is a pretty nice character and kind of more of a realistic character as well. He's more realistic than other characters I mentioned on the two characters I mentioned. He's a really kind of a lone wolf kind of a character, and doesn't take crap from anybody, and be tough as nails, son of a gun. That's him basically for you. Which leads me to number 7. Number 7 goes to Snake, Solid Snake, or Big Boss from the Metal Gear series. Well, he's definitely one of those characters I knew a little while ago, but not much stuff in the story until now. Snake is basically trained as a legendary soldier who've been done tasking these hard missions and does what to save the world from everything. And like, for example, in Metal Gear Solid 2, for example, it stops like the nuke. In Metal Gear Solid like 3, he's out there in the woods. So Metal Gear Solid 4 was supposed to be his final mission, fought with Liquid Snake, aka Big Boss, which is spoilers ahead. And Snake is a pretty sick character. Even the voice actor is pretty much sick. So I don't much about the character. So enough said. Snake is up there because he's just a cool character in my opinion, and kind of like impresses me in a lot of ways. Goes number 6. Number 6 goes to Max Payne. Here comes a character I really like a lot. It's supposed to be a bit higher on the list. And I know a lot of people would say, before I just continue this, I know a lot of people would say, Chris, why are you using some of these characters? Because these characters are just my opinion on things. You're different characters. I had different characters as well, so I forgot to tell you guys a bit of disclaimer. But anyways, back to the point. Max Payne is a pretty like sad and tragic character. Max Payne is a cop that works in NYPD. Being as a cop and having a wife and kids. And one day, when he came back from his work, he came back and found out that he got home invasion. His house was home invaded by a bunch of thugs, and have a V for Valkyr, the drug. And they found out that his wife Michelle and his daughter Rose got killed and murdered by these cold-blooded gangs. And 3 years after this event, he became an undercover cop and found out what's the problem and the issues that happened. The second game, Max Payne just kind of have a bit of a romantic relationship with Mona Sachs. After presumably Mona Sachs was supposed to be killed in the first game, she survived the bullet. She pretty much just a lot of flirting moments here and there, and all that type of stuff. And then in the third game, he basically works. They went to Sao Paulo to Brazil to work to the Bronco family and try to save him, but he just fails miserably. And in the third game, after all the events happened in the first 2 games, he got affected and got traumatized. He drinks bottle and smokes a lot, and being just pretty much an alcoholic. The pain, the misery, and sorrow of losing 2 of his loved ones, Mona and Michelle, and and his daughter, got to him, and he's ended up on the barrel. But right now, he's living a happy life right now since all this stuff happens. I really miss Max Payne. Max Payne's a pretty sick character. He's one of those characters I kind of like a lot, and even the voice actor and just his mannerisms. I like a lot of dark characters, by the way. Anywho. Alright, now we're bring to the top 5. In the 5th place has to be Kratos from the God of War series. Here's a character I definitely knew around my early years of as a gamer. Kratos used to be a guy who wanted to kill gods and kill everyone's threat. Pretty much Kratos is a Spartan warrior. One day when he fought against the barbarians, his life was about to be ended, but he sacrificed his life basically to kill all his enemies, and pretty much not sacrifice his life, but kind of like give his life to Ares. At the time was the God of War, and it was pretty much his biggest mistake of him doing that, until one day He burned the village. He burned the village to the ground. He doesn't know that Ares was sending two of his wife and his daughter to there, and without Kratos noting. And his last two victims was killed by the hands of Kratos. After his murder of his wife and child, his skin becomes pale as the moon, never to be removed. Thus he became the Ghost of Sparta. The Ghost of Sparta nickname was born. And ever since then, he wants to kill the man who killed the man who killed it or caused his death of his wife and her son. Until pretty much like the second and third game, basically winning and tearing, killing all the gods. Until basically the recent game, Kratos is a lot more different character. I'm pretty much taking Kratos in two paths, the path of before and the path now. Kratos right now is more of a calm, mature human being, have a son named Atreus, or the boy, basically. So, two of the characters actually is pretty sick, and Kratos is still the strong, brooding. It's a pretty strong character, and really, I've been in an adventure with him probably longer than any of these people on the list. I've been in adventure for a very long time, through ups and downs, and pain and suffering, and really feeling bad about the guy. Really feel bad for him. That goes to number 4. Number 4 goes to Albert Wesker from the Resident Evil series. I have to put this one character from the Resident Evil series on the list, and he's the character I kind of like the most in the series. Is Albert Wesker, the evil villain, the original villain of the Resident Evil series. Wesker is basically, in his early days, we don't know his childhood. His basically was captured by Owsley Spencer, and he was the Wesker children. So that's why he put Wesker by W, and he was there along with like one of his sisters, which Alex Wesker. What am I talking about her? Maybe she might be there in the next list. For the female characters, maybe she might be there. Who knows? But anyways, back to Wesker. Wesker is just cocky, arrogant, cool, and he's literally one of the coolest characters. And pretty much he betrayed his STARS members, Chris, Jill, Barry, and like Rebecca and Richard, all the STARS members. Then he became pretty much the leader of the STARS members. And then he's making an appearance to stalk Chris's sister, Claire Redfield, and in the Code Veronica, making as well his other return in Resident Evil 5 until he on some smithereens by Chris and Sheva, which is sad. Wesker's always one of the coolest characters. He's always the original character and the original villain of the series. Now let's see him back, but I highly doubt it. That brings in to number 3. Number 3 and number 2 is gonna be like a twin character from different series. Just to let you guys know. But it's number 3, Dante and Virgil from the Devil May Cry series. I cannot put one of them in this. It's really hard to put one of them in there because I'm a fan of both characters. I'm really a big fan of both characters. So Dante and Virgil are the sons of Sparta and the sons of Eva, and both of them, got born. Of course, Virgil being the older sibling got birth about like a couple minutes after Dante, couple minutes before Dante was even born. So both of them are pretty much polar opposites of characters and polar opposites. One, Dante is pretty much a guy. Both of them been in foster home. Both of them, one day they got attacked by a demon in the Sparta home. They got attacked, invaded by demons, and seen Virgil being in his father's grave, and Dante seeing his mother for the last time until they changed his name. Dante pretty much went to Tony Redgrave and changed, and pretty much his mission is to hunt down demons that result to kill his mother. Virgil's mission is become stronger and not die, be stronger like his father. Basically, two characters on opposite side, and I like both characters equally strong and powerful. Dante, gameplay wise, Dante's like the cool, flashy moveset, while Virgil contains strong hitting attacks and really slicing one slice hits, which is pretty cool. Both characters are pretty cool and pretty equal in my opinion. They're one of my favorite characters of all time. And number two goes to Kazuma Kiryu and Goro Majima, the Yakuza series. Now, that was actually a pretty tricky one. The last, like the number two and number one spot, or both of them are kind of like, it's hard to give it in, but I have to go with one of them at the very least. So, Kazuma Kiryu and Majima, both of my favorite characters, and definitely these characters I knew them not for too long, but knew them for some time now, and loving the Yakuza series. Kiryu being the strong, smart, and literally a character that I've been through an adventure that is just insane. And Majima, or Goro Majima, he's the crazy, wacky, guy that just stalks Kiryu a lot in Yakuza 1 and stuff. It's pretty cool and really love both these characters. And their fighting styles are pretty interesting. From Kiryu using his dragon style to Majima being the mad dog of Shimano. And both these characters have different branching story. Majima just being, being the captain of the Tojo clan, while Kiryu went outside of left the entire Yakuza organization and tried to start up a orphanage alongside Haruka. And you can see both these stories and both these guys have different branching paths, but both of them started as Yakuza members when they're younger. Majima being the wacky guy, of course, like to fight Kiryu, and we saw these two their interactions are pretty much gold and amazing. And I love their interactions. Ends up with a fight, and then you beat him as Kiryu, of course, as always, and yeah, and just Majima just praising the shit out of you for being good. And now, number one. Who is number one on my list? I have no honorable mentions at all, so let's go number one. Number one has to go with James Sunderland, Silent Hill 2. Yep. You knew guys was coming. You guys might knew this. Some of you guys saw coming. James Sunderland is my favorite character in gaming. Why? Here's why. He is a character that's done a lot of wrong things in life and kind of learned me some things in life actually. He's a broken down man that's feeling guilt of killing his wife, Mary. And he definitely got me kind of a advice of pretty much as every action has a consequences in life. He tried to run away from the guilt, but he ended up in the world of Silent Hill after killing his own wife. He killed his own wife, and he ran the world of Silent Hill, meeting people like Angela, Eddie, and Lara, and probably Maria, which is pretty much James seeing Maria die over and over and over by Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head is pretty much representing him. And even the enemies in Silent Hill 2 represents some type of thing. Like that, one of the enemies represents James's nurses, represents James' sexual nature. The enemies that have no arms, these represent Mary being been tortured. It's basically, that's why Silent Hill 2 is pretty much one of my favorite games of all time. By the way, you can watch my playthrough. I streamed the entire game. You could definitely go watch it. It's in the list. But anyways, James Sunderland is pretty much one of my favorite characters, and I fucking praise him for his writing. And Guy he is a goddamn legend. He is awesome. I fucking loved his acting and his stuff. Even watching some of the stuff that wasn't in the game was amazing. And I would definitely love this Silent Hill 2 remake to bring back James Sunderland, aka Guy C. So that's pretty much it. That's my list of my favorite characters. I know it's a long video. It's a long ass video, but it's something I like to do. And yeah, this has been Chris Walker. And next part I'll do female characters. See ya.